I left my fiance because he cheated at his bachelor party. 2 years later, I found out it was a setup. I married his best friend instead. Then I saw a video of him bragging about drugging my ex. They say trust is like a mirror. Once it's broken, you can never look at it the same way again. What if you broke the mirror yourself? What if you took a hammer to the only true thing in your life because you believed a lie? What if you were so self-righteous, so sure of your own victimhood, that you became the villain of your own story? My name is Clara. I am 28 years old. And I am currently sitting in a rental car across the street from a beach house in Clearwater, Florida, watching the life I was supposed to have, happening to someone else. To understand why I am crying behind these sunglasses, waiting for a ghost to walk out the front door, we have to go back 2 years. Back to Leo. Leo was my first love. He was the kind of man who didn't just listen, he heard you. He was an architect, quiet, steady, brilliant. He saw the world in lines and structures, but when he looked at me, he saw art. We were the couple everyone envied. We finished each other's sentences. We had a 5-year plan. Leo was designing a house for us, a specific design with a wraparound porch and a studio for my painting. He carried the blueprints in his bag like a love letter. We were 2 weeks away from our wedding. The invitations were sent. The dress was fitted. The flowers were ordered. Then came the bachelor party. It was supposed to be a low-key weekend. Leo hated clubs. He wanted to go camping in the Adirondacks. He wanted to sit by a fire and drink beer. But his best friend, Mark, insisted on something bigger. Mark was the charismatic one. The salesman. The life of the party. He had been friends with Leo since college, but they were opposites. Mark was loud, flashy, and always chasing the next high. Leo was the anchor. "Come on, buddy," Mark had said, slapping Leo on the back at our engagement party. "You only get married once. Hopefully. We have to do it right. Vegas. Sin City. Don't be a wet blanket, Leo. Let me treat you." I remember Leo looking at me, hesitant. "Go," I told him, smiling. "Mark just wants to celebrate you. Have fun. Let loose for once." Those words haunt me. Let loose. That night, the Friday before the wedding, I was at home packing for the honeymoon. At 3:14 a.m., my phone pinged. It was a text from an anonymous number. No name. No subject. Just a video file. I sat on the edge of the bed. My heart started hammering a warning rhythm against my ribs. I opened it. My world ended in 10 seconds. The video was shaky, shot from a low angle, maybe a cell phone propped up on a dresser. It showed a luxury hotel suite. There were empty liquor bottles everywhere. The camera panned to the king-sized bed. And there was Leo. He was sprawled out on top of the covers. His mouth was open. He looked wrecked. And curled up next to him, wearing nothing but black lace lingerie, was a woman. A stripper. She had platinum blonde hair. She looked at the camera, winked, and then laid her head on Leo's chest, tracing a finger down his shirt. I didn't scream. I went cold. It was a physical sensation, like all the blood had been drained from my body. I watched it again. And again. When Leo came home the next day, looking pale, sick, and hungover, I was waiting for him in the living room. My bags were packed. The ring was sitting on the coffee table. "Clara?" he asked, dropping his bag. "What's wrong? Why are your bags packed?" I didn't say a word. I held up my phone and pressed play. I watched his face. I wanted to see the guilt. I wanted to see the panic. Leo watched the video. His face went white. Then gray. "Clara, no," he stammered, his hands shaking. I don't remember this. I don't know who that is." "You don't remember?" I laughed, a harsh, jagged sound. You don't remember cheating on me with a hooker 3 days before our wedding? I didn't cheat. Leo pleaded, falling to his knees. Clara, listen to me. We were drinking. Mark bought a round of shots. Special scotch, he said. I had 2. Just 2. And then, nothing. The lights went out. I woke up on the couch alone this morning. I swear to you. You were in bed with her. I screamed, throwing the phone at the couch. It's on video, Leo. Don't gaslight me. Don't you dare lie to me. I think I was drugged, Leo cried, tears streaming down his face. Please, Clara. Look at me. You know me. I would never do this. Someone put something in my drink. I didn't believe him. The evidence was right there. The video didn't lie. Get out, I said. The wedding is off. I never want to see you again. I went scorched earth. I canceled the venue. I emailed every guest. I told his parents exactly what he did. I told our mutual friends. I humiliated him completely. I wanted him to hurt as much as I did. There was only one person who defended him. My best friend, Jenna. Jenna had known us both since college. She was the maid of honor. She came over while I was throwing Leo's clothes into garbage bags. Clara, stop, Jenna said, grabbing my wrist. I watched the video. You sent it to me. Look at it again. I don't want to look at it. Look at him, Clara. Jenna yelled, forcing me to look at her screen. He's fully clothed. He has his shoes on. He has his belt on. He is unresponsive. He's not sleeping, he's comatose. So? And the girl? Jenna pointed. She's posing. She's not sleeping. She's performing for the camera. Clara, this looks like a setup. It looks staged. Why would he cheat and then film it? Why would someone send it to you anonymously? Because he's a pig. I yelled. Because he got caught. Leo doesn't drink scotch, Jenna said quietly. He hates whiskey. He drinks gin. If he drank scotch, someone made him. You need to wait for a drug test. You need to talk to him. I looked at Jenna. I saw betrayal in her eyes. Whose side are you on? I asked, my voice trembling. He cheated on me. He humiliated me. And you're defending him? I'm on the side of the truth, Jenna said. Leo is a good man. This doesn't make sense. If you defend him, I said, pointing at the door, you can leave too. Get out, Jenna. If you talk to him, you're dead to me. Jenna looked at me. She looked disappointed. You're making a mistake, Clara. You're letting your pride ruin your life. You're going to regret this. She left. And I cut her off too. I blocked her number. I unfollowed her. I didn't need people who supported cheaters. I was alone. Broken. Righteous in my anger. And who was there to pick up the pieces? Mark. Mark came over the next day. He looked devastated. He brought me takeout. He sat with me while I cried. I'm so sorry, Clara, Mark said, shaking his head. I feel responsible. I should have watched him closer. Did he do it? I asked Mark. Tell me the truth. Was he drugged? Mark sighed. He looked down at his hands. I wish I could say yes, Mark lied smoothly. But I saw him taking shots. He was lucid, Clara. He was bragging about one last ride. I tried to stop him. I told him not to go upstairs with her. But he was out of control. The fame of the bachelor party got to him. That was the nail in the coffin. If his best friend, his best man, admitted he did it, then he did it. He's dead to me, I whispered. He doesn't deserve you. Mark said, touching my hand. You deserve someone who values you. Someone who would never risk losing you. Mark became my rock. He helped me move out of the apartment I shared with Leo. He helped me cancel the vendors. He listened to me cry for months. And slowly, subtly, the dynamic shifted. 6 months later, Mark kissed me. I've always loved you, Clara, he whispered. I stepped back because of Leo. I let him have you because I thought he was a good man. But he proved me wrong. I won't make that mistake. It felt like justice. It felt like moving on. It felt safe. 2 years passed. Mark and I were getting married. Mark was different from Leo. He was louder, more possessive. He liked to spend money on flashy things. He didn't sketch dream houses, he bought a condo in a high-rise. But he treated me like a prize. And after the humiliation with Leo, I wanted to be a prize. I wanted to be shown off. His parents adored me. To them, I was the good woman who settled their wild son down. The wedding was set for Saturday. Friday night was the rehearsal dinner. It was a lavish affair at a country club. Mark insisted on the best of everything. Mark was out having a quiet drink with his groomsmen. No Vegas this time. Just a local pub. He promised me he would be home by midnight. I was in the hotel suite, writing my vows. I was trying to convince myself I was happy. I was trying not to think about Leo. At 11:30 p.m., my phone pinged. It was a text from Dave, one of the groomsmen. Dave was a nice guy, an accountant. He had always been quiet around me, almost guilty. The text read, Clara. I'm drunk. And I can't do this anymore. I can't let you marry him without knowing. You're a good person. Watch this. Attached was a video file. My hands shook. It felt like déjà vu. Another video, another night before a wedding. I pressed play. The video was dark. It was shot under a table, clearly secret. It was from an hour ago. The background noise was the chatter of a bar. Mark was sitting at a booth, holding a whiskey, laughing with his friends. His tie was loose. He looked triumphant. To the groom, one of them shouted. The man who always gets what he wants. Mark clinked his glass. He was slurring his words, drunk on alcohol and ego. Damn right, Mark laughed. Persistence, boys. Strategy. That's how you win the game. I still can't believe you pulled it off, another friend said, shaking his head. The long con. You actually got her. It wasn't that long, Mark smirked. Leo was a sitting duck. The guy was too noble for his own good. He trusted me. My heart stopped. The room started to spin. Man, remember that night in Vegas? Mark chuckled, leaning back, looking proud. Leo was drinking his club soda like a Boy Scout. I slipped 2 crushed pills into his drink when he went to the bathroom. Boom. Lights out. He dropped like a sack of potatoes. I stopped breathing. Cost me $500 to get that stripper to lay next to him, Mark continued, bragging. Best $500 I ever spent. I took the video myself. Sent it from a burner phone. And Clara? He laughed. A cruel, mocking sound. She didn't even ask for a blood test. She just exploded. She handed her right to me. Leo tried to explain, but I had already poisoned the well. I told her he was bragging about it. He took a swig of whiskey. Leo never stood a chance. He was playing checkers. I was playing chess. And now? I get the girl, I get the status, and Leo is, where is Leo anyway? Rotting in a studio apartment somewhere? The table erupted in laughter. To the winner, they cheered. I sat there in the silence of the hotel room. The video ended. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I felt a coldness settle over me that was absolute. It was the feeling of a veil being ripped away. Leo hadn't cheated. Leo told the truth. Jenna told the truth. I had destroyed the love of my life because I trusted a sociopath. I had banished my best friend because she saw what I was too proud to see. I looked at the clock. It was midnight. The rehearsal lunch, the speeches and slideshow, was scheduled for tomorrow at noon before the ceremony. I texted Dave back, "Thank you. Stay silent." Then I opened my laptop. I didn't cancel the wedding. Not yet. I went to the rehearsal lunch the next day. I wore a white dress. I smiled. I kissed Mark's cheek. He smelled like stale alcohol and victory. He had no idea Dave had betrayed him. Mark's parents were there. His boss was there. 50 of our closest friends were there. Mark stood up to give a speech. "I just want to say," Mark said, tearing up, fake tears, "I realized now that honesty is the foundation of our love. Clara saw me for who I am. And I promise to always protect her." Everyone clapped. His mother wiped a tear. "And now," I said, standing up and tapping my glass, "I have a special surprise for my groom. A little tribute to our love story. A look behind the curtain." Mark beamed. "Ah, babe. You didn't have to." "Oh, I did," I said. "Dim the lights, please." I connected my laptop to the massive projector screen behind the head table. Mark's mother clasped her hands in anticipation. I hit play. The video wasn't a montage of our photos. It was the video from last night. The sound of Mark's voice boomed through the speakers, amplified to a deafening volume. I slipped 2 crushed pills into his drink. Boom. Lights out. The room went deadly silent. You could hear a pin drop. Mark's smile froze. He looked at the screen, confused for a second, then his face drained of color. "Cost me $500 to get that stripper. Clara didn't even ask for a blood test. She just exploded. Handed her right to me." Mark scrambled up, knocking over his chair. "Turn it off. Clara. It's a joke. It's AI. Turn it off." He tried to run to the laptop. I stepped in front of him. "Sit down," I said. My voice was calm, but everyone flinched. The video continued. Leo never stood a chance. I get the girl, I get the status. The video ended. I looked at Mark's parents. His mother was clutching her chest, looking at her son with horror. His father, a stern, moral man, looked like he was going to be sick. "You drugged him?" Mark's father stood up, his voice shaking. "Mark? You drugged your best friend? You committed a felony?" "Dad, no, I was drunk, I was just talking trash." Mark stammered, sweating profusely. "It's just locker room talk." "You destroyed a man's life," I said into the microphone. "You stole 2 years from me. You framed an innocent man to steal his fiancée. You are not a chess player, Mark. You are a predator." I took off my engagement ring. It was a big, flashy diamond. Mark loved it because it showed his status. I dropped it into his water glass. Plink. "The wedding is off," I announced to the stunned room. "And I'm forwarding this video to the district attorney. Drugging someone is a crime, Mark. Enjoy your honeymoon in a cell." I walked out. I heard Mark screaming behind me. I heard his mother sobbing. I heard the sound of his life collapsing. I got in my car and I drove. I didn't go home. I went to a private investigator. I spent the next week in a haze. I gave the footage to the police. Mark was arrested for assault and administration of a controlled substance. The statute of limitations hadn't run out. His parents disowned him. He was fired from his job. But I didn't care about Mark. I didn't care about the revenge. I needed to find Leo. Find him, I told the PI, handing him a check. I don't care what it costs. Find Leo. It took 3 days. He's in Florida, the PI said. Clearwater. He moved there about 6 months after the breakup. He has a small architecture firm there. He's doing well. Is he single? I asked, holding my breath. The PI hesitated. He looked at his notes. You should probably just go see for yourself. I flew to Florida the next morning. I rented a car. I drove to the address the PI gave me. It was a beautiful beach house. White siding, big porch overlooking the Gulf. I gasped. It wasn't just any house. It was the house. It was the exact design Leo used to sketch on napkins at dinner. The wraparound porch. The specific angle of the roofline. The studio window on the second floor. He had built our dream house. I parked across the street. My heart was hammering against my ribs. I rehearsed what I would say. I'm sorry. I was a fool. I was tricked. I still love you. Can we start over? I saw the front door open. Leo walked out. He looked good. Better than I remembered. Tan. Fit. He was wearing shorts and a t-shirt, holding a coffee mug. He looked peaceful. My hand was on the door handle. I was about to run to him. Then, he turned back toward the house. Come on, buddy. Leo called out. A toddler, a little boy, maybe 1 year old, waddled out onto the porch. He had Leo's dark hair. He was chasing a golden retriever puppy. Leo picked him up and swung him around. The boy laughed, a pure, joyful sound carried by the sea breeze. I froze. He has a child. Then, a woman walked out. She was carrying a diaper bag. She was laughing. She walked up to Leo and kissed him. A long, comfortable, married kiss. She turned to face the street to check the mailbox. I stopped breathing. It was Jenna. My best friend. The one I had banished. The one who told me, he's fully clothed. It's a setup. I sat there, paralyzed. I realized what had happened. When I cut Jenna off, she must have reached out to Leo. Not to date him, but to check on him. Because she believed him. She was the only one who believed him. She must have gone to check on him, and found a broken man. And because she trusted him, she helped him heal. And in the healing, they fell in love. She lived the life I was supposed to have. She lived in the house Leo built for us. She had the baby we named in our dreams. Leo looked toward my car. The sun glared off my windshield. He squinted. For a second, I thought he saw me. I saw a flicker of something in his eyes, confusion? Recognition? But then Jenna touched his arm. He looked down at her. He smiled, a smile full of genuine love, not the haunted look he had when I left him. He put his arm around her waist, and they walked down the steps toward the beach, the toddler running ahead of them. I didn't get out of the car. I couldn't. I had no right to interrupt their happiness. I was the villain in their story. I was the one who lacked faith. I was the one who threw him away. Jenna didn't steal him. She rescued him. I started the engine. I watched them walking on the sand, a perfect family. I realized then that the punishment for mistrust isn't just losing the person. It's watching someone else appreciate exactly what you threw away. Mark is in prison. Leo is in paradise. And I am in a rental car, alone, with nothing but the truth. Trust is fragile. But so is the truth. If you don't fight for it, someone else will. Hit like if you think Jenna deserves the happy ending. Hashtag the Bachelor Party Trap.